Well, Peter, big thank you for joining us. And before we get to this weekend's massive game, because we're only a few games towards the end of the season now, how's this campaign been? It looks like it's been pretty good for Kells up at the top of Division One.
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, obviously we've come back into it after a season playing sort of locally, and obviously I've jumped back in after Stephen Kirkbride has went to Whitehaven as assistant coach. So I've came back in to take over the head coach role. So it's been good. The lads have been good with me. The lads that's helping me out, Ryan and Paul and Sean and everybody else that's involved. It's been good. It's been a lot different. Put it that way.
But then again, it's has it been that different? Because, when you were in charge a few years ago, because you were in charge it was a long stint, let's put it that way.
Yeah, 19 years.
Yeah, exactly. Some great success during that time. But I suppose, are you surprised that you've managed to just hit the ground running and get straight back into it after a few years being director of rugby?
Well, not really. We seem to have we've got a strong core of lads that was there from my previous time, and obviously the good club men. Tony Burns, David Lowry, Scott Lofthouse, Ross Ainley. There's a few, and add that to a sprinkle of a few young lads that's coming through. I mean, the experienced lads now, they run around like 10-year-olds because they've got these other lads pushing them now. So it makes it good, and it gives everybody else a lift, tell you the truth, because we've got good numbers there for the finishing end of the season, and we want to finish as high up as we possibly can.
Let's talk about the recent matches, because there was a patch, wasn't there, in June where you suffered, I think it was back-to-back defeats. I mean, what does that, you just touched upon the squad there. What does it tell us about the character of the squad that you've managed to bounce back and then go on another series of victories the way you have done to set up this grandstand finish?
Well, what it is, I mean, it's like any club that goes through it. We've got a lot of young lads, and they like the festivals, and they like going away on holiday, and they like, you name it, they've done it. So what you've got to do, you've got to backfill with players that I'm not saying that they're not up to that standard, but you just got to fulfill it, and that's giving them experience, if you know what I mean. So it's been good on their part, as you're right. It was back-to-back defeats, but it won't do us any harm really with what we went through. But what we're looking at now is, obviously finishing strong, and as I mentioned before, finishing as high up as we possibly can, to attain what we need to attain.
I mean, it is the top two that go up automatically, isn't it, out of Division One? So, I mean, I'm not sure of the maths, but you're almost there, aren't you? With regards to that, I mean, what would a promotion mean for Kells, getting back to the top flight?
It would be good, but don't get me wrong. I mean, we could still end up in the playoffs yet. So all I'm telling our lads, and it's an old adage, what you've got to do is just take one game at a time. And you hear it through the Super League and round here. It's every game's a final. When we're looking at that. I mean, we played very well the weekend against Milford. Bear in mind, I mean, Milford were already relegated, but it was only 12-0 after 30 minutes, and Milford came to play, and they threw some good shape at us and that at times. But we on the defensive stuff and just said, we really just need to keep the defence going, because every point we get in front, it's points difference. It could come down to points difference in the end up. But the old adage, as I was saying, it's one game at a time, and if we can take that one game at a time, we can move on to the next game. But I says, don't be going looking over your shoulder and seeing which is the next game, because the next game, it won't count if we put the effort in on this game.
So let's talk about the West Bowling match then this weekend, because you just about how competitive this division is there, where even a team who's down towards the bottom end can give you a good game. West Bowling, they're very much involved in the playoff race, so this is going to be a tough game this weekend. Plus, as well, the travelling, of course, to Bradford.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, the travelling, it's second nature to those guys up here. We talk to other teams and they say, how long does it took you to get down here? Oh, that's a long time and whatever. But as soon as you battle hard and you're into it, I mean, it's quite easy in a way. But you've just got to put that to one side, and you get that win, and that makes the journey home a hell of a lot better. But what we've got to look at is, it's going to be a real tough game against West Bowling this week. Obviously, we're playing them at their place. When we played them early on, I think it was the first game of the season. We played them up at Kells, and I know they've got like a 4G pitch. So, there's a lot of things that we can maybe use afterwards if as an excuse. But I'll tell you something: we won't be. We'll be looking to go to West Bowling and put up a good performance and really just stay in there and just seeing what we can do.
And what about the mood at the club more generally as well? Because I think this is the first time me and you have spoke this season, isn't it, Peter? So just a bit of a general catch up about the club more generally. We've come out of the disruption that we had with COVID. So what's the mood at the club like?
Yeah, everything's going well. I mean, we've been balanced by a few of the young lads been coming on the committee and wanting to fundraise and do this. So our youth has took an upturn and that as well. We're looking to start an under-18s team again next year. Obviously, that'll bridge the gap between the under-16s and the open age team. So we're looking at that. So everything's it's on a positive slant at present. So everything's going really well, and if we can, as I say, just take it one game at a time and just see where we're at, because I'm not going to put my neck on the block and saying we're going to be doing this, we're going to be doing that, and then fall flat on my face. All we're going to be doing is what we can do, what we can control as well.
And last question, Peter, you've already touched upon it, one game at a time, but how much are you looking forward to this running and the possibility maybe at the end of a promotion and getting Kells back to the top flight? How much are you looking forward to this last month?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but as I say, I'm not looking beyond this week's game. We keep our eyes focused on this week's game. We're going down to just give Whitehaven an unopposed session or an opposed session tomorrow night at training. So that'll be good. It'll get us in the mood, knowing what we've got to do and what we've got to play against. So it'll sort of it'll give us a little bit of an inkling. But as I say, all it is to me, it's just that first game we're looking at, and then we'll move on to the next one when we get there. But it goes after every tackle, every run, every kick. That we've got to put in. It's got to be quality, and if we're to get the points on Saturday against West Bowling, it'll be a hard fought, good earned win if we do.
Well, Peter Smith, head coach at Kells, a big thank you for taking the time out your busy day to join us this week, and all the best on Saturday and all the best for the running as well.
Thanks very much, Ben. Cheers, pal. Thank you.